Today we're going to take a look at a Canadian Individual Meal Pack, or IMP. This one is menu number 7, sausage and hash browns, and it's from 2015. And I want to start off by saying that this ration was very generously sent to me by Magnum 62. Magnum has been a great friend and great member of the ration review community for some time now. You can check out his channel, he has a number of videos up. He also is very supportive of all the reviewers. You can see his comments all over the place. And he's just all around a great guy. And he sent me this with no strings attached. He actually sent me 2 IMPs to review, to eat, or whatever. So I do want to say thank you very much, Magnum. So I'm looking forward to this one. I don't believe I've had a breakfast IMP before. And I know they have a couple different versions. Sometimes they have hash browns with bacon, and this is obviously the sausage and hash browns. US MREs have sometimes had hash browns in them. The first time we saw them was as a delicious side dish to one of the worst entrees of all time, the cheese and veggie omelet. And more recently, and actually currently, hash browns with bacon are an entree in the MREs. Obviously, eggs are a pretty standard thing to have for breakfast. It's just unfortunate that in MREs, eggs are usually put in the form of an omelet, and they're usually not very good. So it seems like there's only so many things that you can do with the hash browns. And one thing I always thought would be great to see would be the hash browns as a side dish, along with the maple-flavored pork sausage patty. The pork sausage patty is very small. It's only about 3.2 ounces or so. And the side dish is actually larger at 5 ounces. But because of the entree being so small, it just seems like it would go great with a side like that. And I know I'm kind of rambling on here, but the point is, a couple years ago I did the breakfast MRE mashup where I took a couple commercial MREs, and I took the hash browns of bacon from one and the pork sausage patty from the other, and it worked out great. So, although this is all going to be in one entree, I'm looking forward to trying out the sausage and hash browns as a single dish. So the Canadian IMP comes in this brown bag. Kind of looks like a lunch bag, and it's this nice little square appearance. It's really great for packing them in the cases. As I said, it's from 2015, menu number 7. Not a lot of writing on here. It has a military ration, not for resale. And on the back, you can like them on Facebook and leave comments at this long website, and it even has one of these here too. So let's go ahead and see what's inside this sausage and hash browns from 2015. You can actually see in the packaging what they do is they have an entree and either a side or a dessert in the old boxes that the old MRE entrees used to come in. They still use these because it gives the box, or actually I should say it gives the bag, its nice box-like shape. So I'm just going to take everything out of here. And you can see that the brown paper bag is actually foil lined to give it a little bit more protection and a little bit longer shelf life. And over here we have, this should be our entree. Yes, this is the sausage and hash browns in English and French. You can see the ingredients and also the nutrition facts. And on the back here we can see the date code. The Canadians, the IMPs, and I'm guessing other Canadian rations, smartly use the 5-digit date code instead of the 4-digit Julian date code that the US MREs use. And that gives you the last 2 digits of the year instead of the last digit, so you don't have to worry about the decade dilemma. So this is from the 238th day of 2014. You don't have to wonder if it's from 2014 or 2004. And you also have as a dessert, and it tells you it's a dessert, sliced apples. We have the hamburger bun, or plain hamburger, which has become a standard in the IMPs over the last few years. It replaced the bread. And obviously it is a bread product, but it's a little bit more versatile in that when you have something like the hamburgers, for instance, or anything else you can make a sandwich out of, it's actually sandwich ready. And since this is breakfast, we also have banana oatmeal. I've never had that before. We have an orange sports drink. Kind of makes it like orange juice for breakfast. And let's see, we have 2 packages, 20 grams each of peanut butter. You get a good amount of peanut butter. Strawberry jam. Looks like I might be having a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Some ketchup for the hash browns. We have a Kellogg's Vector Energy Bar. This is obviously a Canadian product. I've never seen this one before. Chocolate chip. That should be good. Nescafe 3-in-1. So this will be your coffee, and it'll also have your creamer and sugar mixed in. You have a moist towelette. A very large napkin, or paper towel, whatever you want to call it. This can be used as a napkin, it can be used as a place setting, it can be used as a paper towel, it can be used as something to clean up with, it can be used as toilet paper, it can be used as a fire starter. It's basically a big giant piece of recycled paper that you can use for whatever you need it for. You have some chewing gum like the US MREs have, some matches, the wonderful Canadian beverage bag. Doesn't actually say hot beverage bag, but similar to the US MRE hot beverage bag, except that it has the gusseted bottom, which is a very popular addition. And we also have the very long IMP spoon. And here's everything that we're getting in this IMP. Overall, it looks like a really good breakfast. And I've always found it a nice touch that the IMPs come with, usually come with a fruit as a dessert, either sliced apples, sliced peaches, or pineapple chunks, something like that. It kind of makes it feel a little bit fresher than some of the other packaged kind of stuff you find in MREs. So I'm going to take the sausages and hash browns, and I'm going to heat them up in some hot water. The IMP does not come with a flameless ration heater, but I have heard that the Canadians do issue their troops flameless ration heaters separately from the cases of the IMPs. So we have the sausages and hash browns, the 14238 date code, and this is from Baxter's, who makes the majority of the IMP entrees. Alright, and while the hash browns heat up, we'll check out some of the other components. Here we have the Vector Energy Bar. This is covered in chocolate. Stuck in there a little bit. It smells good. Definitely has a strong smell of chocolate coming off of it. You can see the little bits of cereal in it to give it some texture. There's our hamburger bun. And since I don't really see putting the hash browns on here as a sandwich, I am going to go ahead and make a peanut butter jelly sandwich out of this. One thing I have noticed is that they don't slice their hamburger buns all the way through. Not a big deal, obviously, but if you have a knife handy, you can make a little bit cleaner of a cut there. So we'll use the peanut butter and jelly. Give the peanut butter a good kneading. And there are 2 peanut butters, but I think one will be plenty for this. The second one could be a nice little protein snack that you can tear off the corner and eat right out of the package while you're on the move. And that should be pretty tasty. The banana oatmeal says to add hot or cold water to taste, so it's very much up to you. If you happen to have hot water available, you can certainly make some oatmeal. If you only have cold water on you, then you can make some cold cereal. And I'm actually going to do it that way. I'm going to add a little bit of water at a time. I'm not exactly sure what I want the consistency to be in this. I'm definitely smelling the banana in there. I think that's pretty good. And that looks pretty good. There's not a ton of it, but it looks good. And I also forget that I still haven't done the sliced apples, which actually should have gone in this compartment. So I think I'm going to actually move this up to here. Like that. That looks a little bit better. Now the sliced apples. And so these have a date code on them of 14356. So they're on the end of 2014. These are also from Baxter's, and they do say to cut across the top, but they do give you the notches, so you don't really have to worry about doing that. And obviously I'm putting this on a tray for display purposes, but they have a second set of notches down below, so you can cut it there if you want to just eat it right out of the pouch with your spoon. And then there's two more things we need to make up before we check out the entree. It's our beverages. We have the orange sports drink and the 3-in-1 Nescafe coffee drink. The sports drink says to add contents to the beverage bag and mix with 250 ml of water. And you can see the beverage bag does have the instructions for that, sports drink, and also for hot chocolate. I'm just going to go ahead and mix it up in a glass. 250 ml is a little bit less than the US MREs, which usually give you 12 ounces of drink. This is going to give you close to 9. Doesn't have quite as extreme of an orange color as the US MREs do. It's kind of a different smell coming out there. It smells more like the standard orange beverage-based powder than the orange electrolyte beverage-based powder that the US MREs come with. Usually when you think sports drinks, you think more like the carbohydrate electrolyte ones. And it does kind of have the look of a Gatorade type of drink. Let's go ahead and put that into a smaller glass. And I think we'll go ahead and close up the peanut butter and jelly sandwich to make some room. That'll just leave us with our coffee. Obviously, somebody who likes black coffee is going to be a little bit out of luck with this. But somebody who does like to add the creamer and sugar is in a lot of luck, because it's all in one little package. Which makes it quite convenient. And lastly, we have our Baxter's sausage and hash browns, very hot from the boiling water. And I did just realize that this IMP does not come with any salt or pepper or hot sauce or anything like that. So luckily we do have the ketchup if you want to use that to spice up the hash browns at all, if they're not as tasty as I'm expecting them to be. One of the big chunks of potato in there. Kind of a mild smell coming off there. I guess I'm used to the maple sausage patties that come in, maple flavored sausage patties that come with the MREs and are, I don't want to say overwhelming, but they are very sweet. This is kind of like a toned down version of that as far as the smell. Alright, and there it is. Hash browns and sausage. It's looking and smelling good. Pretty simple. It's basically just chunks of potatoes and chunks of sausage. I see they're looks like they're link sausages that are like breakfast sausages that are chopped up or sliced up, and larger potato chunks than I would expect from hash browns. I usually expect them to be shredded, but there's different ways of doing it. This to me almost seems a bit more like home fries, but it's interesting because the sausage and the potatoes are basically the same size. So while this is still steaming, still hot, I'm going to go ahead and give this a try. Been looking forward to this. And that's really good. It seems to be, it's a simple dish, but it's got some nice flavor to it. The sausage tastes like sausage. Is not overdone. The US one, I've always been a fan of it because I have a sweet tooth, but that artificial maple flavor kind of overdoes it, and despite the fact that obviously sausage is a processed food, it makes it seem even more artificial. This really just tastes like a breakfast sausage. The potatoes are nice. They're obviously cooked all the way through, but they're not falling apart. They have a little bit of firmness to them, and there's not a lot of extra flavor in here, and I don't really think it needs it. It's not bland at all. You can see the ingredients. The sausage just doesn't have a lot of extra stuff in it. The third ingredient in the sausage is toasted wheat crumbs. Hash browns are mostly just potatoes, canola and or soybean oil and or cottonseed and or sunflower oil, dextrose sodium phosphate. Although it's not listed here, it does say it does contain mustard and soy. So that would give you a little bit extra flavor, but they're not even listed on the ingredients, so I'm not really sure how much of that's coming through, but it's very good. I would not have any problem being issued this for breakfast. I don't think it needs ketchup, and I generally don't put ketchup on my breakfast foods like eggs or potatoes. But since we do have the ketchup, we might as well use it. There really isn't anything else to use it on. And I don't think that's going to hurt either. Let's try the ketchup by itself. It's got a little bit of a nice little bit of a tang to it. That does give it another dimension. If you don't find the potatoes and the sausages being up to what you want to taste, it might be a good idea to add these. I don't really think it needs salt and pepper, but if you have some and you think it needs that, you can do that, and obviously hot sauce too. But for my money, this is a delicious breakfast entree right on its own. Let's try the banana oatmeal. As I said, I basically made this as a cereal with cold water. You could certainly have it as a hot oatmeal. You could certainly have it a lot soupier. You could add more water. But this is kind of the consistency I was looking for. And that's really good. One of the things about the IMPs, they tend to have a lot of fresh tasting kind of things. You know, when you're dealing with shelf-stable foods, if it can taste like it's fresh, even if it's not, that's a bonus. This is nice. You taste the oats in here. You can kind of feel the oats. And there's a nice, mellow, mild kind of banana flavor kind of coming through. It's not overwhelming. It's not that real artificial, like that candy kind of banana. It just kind of understated. I like it. A little bit dry. So we'll wash it down with some of the coffee. And of course it's dry because I made it that way. You can make it however you want. Yeah, Nescafe is perfectly fine. I said the only people I think would really have a problem with that would be people who want their coffee black, and they just don't give them a choice with that one. Let's try the sliced apples. There's nice syrup here. And that's really good too. It going on that fresh theme. It's applesauce is fine, but it's kind of nice to be able to bite into an apple. And we can see they're not terribly firm, but they're not soggy either. They have just enough of a bite that you know you're getting something. And the syrup isn't overly sweet. It certainly isn't like you're biting into a fresh apple, but considering it's a shelf-stable product in a retort pouch, there isn't a lot of extra stuff in here. There's a little bit of sugar. And it's really good. It seems like it would be a good way to start off the day for breakfast, instead of some really sickly sweet kind of overly processed thing. Very good. Actually, I'm gonna get a little bit more of this. Sausages are a bit, if I'm gonna get really picky and try and find something to complain about this, they're a bit on the soft side. I wouldn't say mushy or anything, but don't have a lot of bite to them. Flavor's fine though. I don't see any actual complaint. It's really trying to be picky. Let's try this Vector energy bar. It's very chocolatey looking. And it's really good. It's kind of a complex chocolate flavor. It feels like you're eating a couple different kind of chocolates, and I think it's because the inside is chocolate flavor and it also has the chocolate coating, and it actually tastes like two different things. You can see the little crispies in there to give it a little bit of interest, a little crunch. But it's a good energy bar. Kind of standard, tastes like a Cliff Bar or something like that. But in addition to getting a nice chocolate taste, you're also getting a lot of energy. So that's good too. And then the last thing, as if we hadn't had enough with the entree of the hash browns, the side of oatmeal, banana oatmeal, and the dessert of sliced apples, we still have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on a hamburger bun. So let's try that out. And that's good too. I like having something like a strawberry jam. It's a nice alternative to like grape jam, grape jelly. And this works good. I'm actually a little surprised not to see honey in this one. A lot of the IMPs seem to come with honey, and you could add that to this too, or have honey and peanut butter. But this is fine. It's almost a meal on its own. The bread's a little bit on the dry side, but it is a lot more like bread than the wheat snack bread in the US MREs. and that's nice. We'll wash that down with a little bit of the orange sports drink. And that's good too. It does taste a bit more like the standard orange beverages powder rather than the carbohydrate electrolyte ones in the MREs. And nothing wrong with that. It's like a McCooley kind of a thing. Use a napkin to clean up a little bit. And that was a look at a 2015 Canadian IMP sausage and hash browns, menu number 7. And I want to say a big thank you once again to Multi Magnum 62 for sending this along to me. And of course, thank you for watching.